Hello everyone, I'm Andy Morris with Jerry Becker. Today we're going to dive in some of the recent enhancements that Sage Intacct rolled out for their financial management platform. So let's jump into our series called Smart Moves, What's New in Sage Intacct. Today we're going to look at some of the enhancements included in Sage Intacct for Release 3 of 2025. The focus today is what's referred to as AP approvals with delegation. One way for you to go in and just get familiar with all the enhancement that occurred in Release 3, which was just last week, is to use the housetop icon here. You'll notice that it's announcing the Release 3, and then it takes you a link directly into all the notes. Another thing to note that these things are organized by either geographic. Today's presentation for you is going to focus on just using what's considered to be updates for the United States, but some of those could be considered all regions, so it could do more than just United States. All right, now here's our focus today though, and if you'll see here, ways to navigate this is regional, but also if I choose financials and then accounts payable, you see the very first thing is called the delegate bill approvals when the approver is out of the office. Let's go take a look, because this is mainly a setup exercise. So within the application, begin by going into accounts payable, setup, and configuration. It's near the bottom, so I usually just take you all the way to the bottom and then slowly come back up, and we'll stop right there. And you'll see the sections called bill approval settings. Bill approval settings. I want to make a little comment about that. Is that they've released this, but it's also going to be expanded in the next release to where it goes beyond just bill approval. It could be a payment approval or a vendor approval. But if you'll notice now, there's a checkbox here that says enable delegation. Now, I've checked that, and then it opened up manage delegates. So let's look in here, because this is the real effort becomes, and it is managing the places where if I'm not available to go in because I'm out on a holiday, then this will be the rerouting of an approval for a bill so that it doesn't just hang up in my queue. If you'll see, there's a default here at the top. Now it's got two different options, user and user group. I'm pointing that out to you because accounts payable gives you that option of using a user group. And what I've done is that prior to setting the default delegate as a group, I came up with a group called Big Dogs. Now, I did that because actually the two big dogs, there was this user called Emma, the controller, and Bill, the accounting manager. So they're the two people that roll up into that user group. So notice as I set these up, the practice member, the user here, it basically saying, well, a delegate type would be a user group because either of those two big dogs would be able to go through and make that approval. But then notice here is that when it is Emma herself, instead of pointing her to a group where she's a member of, I pointed her directly just to Bill the accounting, and then I flip-flopped it. When it's Bill the accounting manager, it's on holiday. He has made Emma the controller his delegate to take care of those items. And that was all the setup was necessary. But while we're on this topic though, I want you to notice something. It's here in accounts payable. It's also in general ledger. So watch this, general ledger, setup, configuration. So there's two places to be sure to turn on this delegate feature. Again, it's near the bottom in the general ledger configuration. I'll go all the way down, then I'll slowly come back up and you'll see something real similar. But this time it's under, instead of bill approval, it's on approval options. Again, we're looking at configuring the general ledger. This button looks the same, or checkbox. I've turned it on, but then when you go in to manage it, I'll point this out to you. As great as that groups was, you'll see that in the general ledger, they decided, at least for right now, is just make it a particular user instead of a user group. So Emma is always using Bill, the accounting manager, as her delegate, but then everyone else would use Emma as a controller as their delegate. And that's the only difference between the two, is that use of a user group. And again, this is all to make it to where when someone is on holiday, then this approval process here will then route it to who the delegate was so that nothing gets, if you will, held up in a queue just because someone's not active in the system while they're on holiday. Well, thanks everyone. I appreciate your time and the focus on the R3 2025 Sage Intacct enhancements.